This is the AI News Flash for May 29th, 8 a.m. UTC. First up, The Verge reports that Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin suffered a catastrophic explosion of its next-generation New Glenn rocket during a hot fire test at its only Florida launch pad Thursday night, with a massive fireball severely damaging the pad and repairs likely taking months. The blast deals a major blow to both NASA's moon base plans, which depend on New Glenn's Blue Moon lander system, and Amazon's Project Leo satellite constellation aimed at challenging SpaceX Starlink in AI-driven space broadband. The destroyed New Glenn was being prepped to carry 48 Amazon Leo satellites, the largest single batch ever, though the satellites were not aboard. Amazon has launched just over 300 of the 1,618 Leo satellites required by FCC's July 30, 2026 deadline, and is now applying for an extension. Without its primary workhorse rocket, Amazon must lean more heavily on rivals SpaceX, ULA, and Arianespace. In a remarkably warm message Elon Musk posted on X, sorry to see this, I hope you recover quickly. The incident marks a decisive moment in the space AI infrastructure race, the most significant setback for the 2026 space AI build-out.
Second, Bloomberg exclusively reports that Norway's government pension fund, Global, the world's largest sovereign wealth fund with $2.3 trillion under management, formally backed a shareholder proposal calling for an independent human rights impact assessment at Palantir Technologies, marking a decisive moment for institutional AI ethics governance.
The Norwegian fund will use its shareholder voting power to demand third-party scrutiny of Palantir's AI products and their human rights impact, covering AI surveillance, military targeting systems, and immigration enforcement technologies, demanding full transparency on real-world consequences.
Palantir's Maven smart system is now an official Pentagon program of record, with a $500 million plus ICES contract and reported use in Israeli Gaza targeting systems. Against this backdrop of intensifying military AI governance debate, the world's largest institutional investors' intervention sets a decisive precedent. AI company ESG compliance enters a new dimension.
With hyperscalers' AI infrastructure capex hitting $725 billion in 2026. Institutional capital is now entering a serious selection phase on AI ethics governance, following Pope Leo XIV's Magnifica Humanitas encyclical declaring autonomous lethal weapons absolutely unacceptable. Global AI ethics frameworks are taking shape. This is the most significant 2026 milestone for institutional investor AI ethics governance. Third, MarkTech Post reports that Hexo Labs has open-sourced SIA, a groundbreaking self-improving agent that edits both the agent's scaffold harness and the model weights within a single self-improving loop, pushing agentic AI research into a new dimension. SIA's three core LLM components: a meta-agent writes the initial scaffold, a task-specific agent runs the task, and a feedback agent reads the full trajectory and autonomously chooses to either rewrite the scaffold or trigger a weight update. The base model is OpenAI's GPT TOS-120B. Weight updates use LoRa at rank 32, and Meta and feedback agents both run on Claude Sonnet 4.6. On Lawbench's 191 class Chinese criminal classification task, scaffold edits plateaued at 50% while weight updates pushed accuracy to 70.1%. On a Trimul CUDA kernel synthesis task, scaffold edits reached 1.14a speedup, while weight updates drove runtime from 12,483 to 1,017 microseconds, a 91.9% reduction. On a single-cell RNA denoising task with Magic, scaffold tuning settled at 0.241, while weight updates achieved 0.289. Against the backdrop of Google DeepMind AlphaEvolve, MIT Neurosymbolic AI, and Sakana AI's self-evolving AGI work, Hexo Labs' approach of operating both scaffold and weight livers within a single loop establishes a decisive differentiator. Released under MIT license on GitHub, with growing developer adoption expected. This marks the most significant new phase for self-improving agent research in 2026. Fourth, Bloomberg reports exclusively that Australia's Fair Work Commission, the Federal Workplace Tribunal, is seeing a surge of disputes triggered by workplace AI implementation, marking a decisive moment as AI labor governance becomes a serious challenge and emerging labor market risk category. Categories include unfair algorithmic discrimination in AI hiring screening, privacy violations from AI agent monitoring and performance assessment, AI-driven wrongful termination, business restructuring disputes from AI implementation, and employee mental health issues from AI chatbot customer service deployment. The tribunal faces a surge in new AI-related workplace dispute cases as Australian AI labor law urgently needs modernization. Globally, AI labor governance is becoming a serious challenge as enterprise AI agent implementation accelerates under hyperscalers' $725 billion 2026 CapEx boom. Gartner predicts 40% of enterprise applications will have AI agents by end of 2026, requiring urgent response. Connecticut AI employment law, California AI transparency law, Illinois AI hiring discrimination ban, and other state-level AI employment regulations are accelerating, with countries everywhere needing rapid policy response. Goldman Sachs predicts 300 million jobs globally affected by AI automation. Dallas Fed data shows 22 to 25-year-old AI-exposed roles down 13%, with Block 4000, Salesforce 4000, HSBC 20,000, Morgan Stanley 2,500, and Cloudflare 700 cumulative AI-driven layoffs exceeding 158,000 with AI employment policy, certain to be the biggest issue in 2026 midterm elections. This marks the most significant emerging milestone for global AI labor governance in 2026. That's all for this AI News Flash.